Hello, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing good. Medina is laying down right now. Uh, Hopefully she'll be back up with us in a little bit. Tony is coming in about 10 minutes, and yeah, we'd appreciate it to give us a thumbs up. That we need. I'm a little I'm a little disheartened by the fact that our channel has not grown any. I don't know if it's us or if it's a algorithm that YouTube does. But if you give us a thumbs up or even a thumbs down and leave a comment, then it seems to put the YouTube shares our videos more. And if you are not subscribed, if you would subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And as you know, we have a YouTube channel on one that are doing on our RV channel, and it is about 700 and a little over 750 people subscribed. So we're hoping we'll get up to 1,000 or a little bit over. But we are currently in Michigan right now. We're in the top of Michigan. We're fixing to enter in the Upper Peninsula tomorrow and go up to hopefully see the leaves change. The leaves have not changed at all. It's a little bit. Some of the oak trees have turned a little bit, but it's nothing like we were expecting. And I think it just hasn't been cold enough to make it that way. But hey, we're gonna enjoy our time. We're going all the way up to the very top to a museum tomorrow that has some of the Edmund Fitzgerald stuff that were taken off the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. If you know the Gordon Lightfoot song, talks about that. I just remember that song from when I was in high school, so it's something I've always been interested in. Yes, Tony's coming in with me. I talked to him earlier. We're going to discuss where is Brian Laundrie, and I know that y'all said Duty Ron had two guests on and hadn't got over 1 million views. Wow. I don't think this channel is capable of doing that right now. I don't know why, or maybe um, I'm blaming myself really, because it just we have not grown. We kind of went quickly to 5,000 people, but subscribers, but we've been in the 5,000, between 5 and 6,000. I think it's like 5,400 that we just can't grow. I don't know what it is. I have no um, other than to say it's probably my fault, that it that maybe I don't know. I have no one else to blame but myself. But regardless, we're gonna keep it on and see how it goes. I did want to talk about a few things. I'm gonna mainly wait till Tony gets here to talk about Brian and what some things have came up. And we were talking about Dog the Bounty Hunter earlier between ourselves by phone, and we'll discuss that a little bit. But we do want to remind everybody that Gabby is not the only missing person, or was not the only missing person out there. And their news conference today of the family is pretty awesome. They said, "Hey, let's don't let this thing, let's let Gabby's life stand for something. So let's get out and try to find all of the other missing people that are out there. Let's let her life stand for a way to go after, uh, find these other people and bring some closure to other families." I just got nothing but respect for that family. I don't know that I could be that calm um, when Brian is still out there. And it's one thing, I don't know if you saw John Walsh the other day. He came on several programs and he said, and it surprised me, he told Brian, he said, I want to speak to Brian right now. He said, Brian, I want you to go get a gun and kill yourself. That's what he said on TV. And, I don't think he was pretty, he was mad. He was mad at the whole situation. I'm mad at the whole situation of killing such an innocent, beautiful child like Gabby is. But yeah, it was pretty rough. He didn't hold back at all. But I did want to look at this gentleman here again. His dad said it was on a program that said, "Man, if we could just get the enough people to focus on my son like they did on Gabby." And I don't know why it took off all of a sudden. I don't know if you know it, and I'm not bragging a bit, but we were one of the first people that brought that up to YouTube. I think we were the first people that talked about Gabby missing on YouTube, and it just kind of exploded from there. But this is Daniel Robinson. He is a geologist that was working in the desert, and he disappeared. He is an amputee. He does not have a right arm. It's cut off just below the elbow, and his father uh, talks about it, and we went over this. I'm trying to see. He was leaving his work site in the suburbs west of Phoenix. According to the newspaper there, reportedly left work in a blue Jeep Renegade that morning and did not tell anybody where he's going. His Jeep was found rolled over in a ravine and with the airbags deployed. His cell phone, wallet, keys were found at the scene, according to the article. And this is in the desert, or I believe, of Arizona. Um, there's some information that maybe the accident was staged, and he might have been kidnapped. um, I know his dad has been on a couple of programs saying, please, please give my son the same exposure that Gabby had. And, this is a picture. And if you were on here last week, you can see he does not, his right arm's amputated right above his wrist. And I don't understand how that happened. I don't even know if um, they ever told about it other than it was an amputee. They've done. Robinson wrote that he has done 6 searches in the desert and claimed a private investigator told him that the Jeep crash was staged, which I don't know. You can see I posted a picture last week. This is a picture of the Jeep turned over in the ravine. So I don't know how they can say it was staged. Dina's up. She's moving some um, stuff up in the front of the RV, shutting the main blinds here. It's called the night blind, night shade, just trying to, we can have some privacy in here. Um, but, I don't see how he can absolutely say it was staged. Um, I tell you this, Tony is a great accident reconstructionist. He's been to all kinds of schools, worked a lot of fatalities. If he could go out there and look at it, he could tell you if it was staged or not. But this is a uh, this is in Wyoming National Park, so I guess it was not in Arizona. But he left Phoenix, so I don't know if it's in where it's at now. I'll have to go down back and look at that. I apologize for that. But if he left and worked in Phoenix and ended up in Wyoming, that's a heck of a drive.
It wasn't far from where Gabby was.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, wow, it was not far than assessed from where Gabby was, but Phoenix that's one whole state away from Wyoming. Utah is a whole state. I think that would be about a 12-hour drive at the very least. But I don't know. I have to read some more on there. But this is another picture of him. Um,
One of
yeah,
your sleuths will tell you in just a minute.
yeah. Somebody on here, I'm sure, will tell me a few minutes where this actually happened. Um, But anyway, he needs as much, if as press and people looking for him as Gabby did. And I think there's been a lot of talk about, and I hate it when you bring race up into it. I hate it when they start talking about this white thing. It's a white missing female. It's a white this, and that's why they get all this attention. I don't think that's the case. Maybe I hope I'm not that naive, but I know when I was working and when Tony was working in law enforcement, it didn't matter what color you were or anything. If you broke the law, you went to jail. If you were look for you, it's Daniel Robinson. Daniel Robinson, last seen leaving work in Buckeye, Arizona on June 23rd. Uh, Let me see if I can go back and gather a little of this. I just copied it down from last week. Let's see. This is the one that had the petition, and I looked for it. I could not find the petition, but we've been busy on other. I've been actually busy on something else too, and trying to get some more information on what's been going on with Brian. And you know, um, I didn't get. I he went. See here. Here's what kind of threw me off here. It says here he went missing in the Arizona desert 2 months ago. Well, why are they calling it Wyoming National Park? I don't. Maybe I
Well,
know
maybe that's
some.
the name of it.
Well, yeah, because I know that there's some parks up in here in Michigan that are well, in Arizona, there's a place called Alabama Hills. I think it is in Arizona where a lot of people go camping, Alabama Hills. So, if I were to say, meet me in the Alabama Hills, you would think it's in Alabama, I would think. So maybe it is a Wyoming, a national park that is in Arizona. Wouldn't be near where Gabby was found, though, for sure.
Rapoof
Um,
says 700 girls went missing in the area that Gabby's missing in. Why are we not focusing on the other 609?
700 girls?
That's what she said. Right
Wow.
here. Look at that. 700 girls. She
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I've never heard of that.
in the
Wow.
same location.
Hmm.
We'll have to.
I'll see if I can find out some information on that. I've not heard that at all.
They said
Um,
in East Ohio news reported today another missing person found in the Teton National Park.
well, I'm gonna tell you, we've been to the Grand Tetons. It is Wyoming. First, I'm gonna tell you, it's in the southwest corner, or almost southwest corner of uh, Wyoming. It's not quite the south. It's almost the middle. You've got the total. If you take the state of Wyoming, the top 1/3, basically, the top left hand side of the state, if you're looking at it,
Northwest. Gonzo.
northwest is Yellowstone. It's huge. I mean, it is huge. It takes you about 2 hours to drive from one end of Yellowstone to the other. So it's a huge place. And then the right hand side of the northeast side of Wyoming is Cody and a couple, but Wyoming is desolate for the most part. The only real big city that I saw in Wyoming at all is Jackson, and Jackson is a ski town and of rich people, and it's in the south um, east southwest side of the state. It's not that big. I say probably, I'm guessing 15, 20,000 people at the very most. It's not big at all. There are more, I think I heard somewhere there are more moose in Wyoming than there are people.
Gonzo said he grew up
Yeah.
out there, so
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful state. It's my favorite state that I've been to in the United States is Wyoming. I thought Montana would be that way because Montana is hills and mountains and everything. But Wyoming is by far the most beautiful state. You got the Tetons, you've got you know, you got a lot of is you got the Tetons. I like the city of Jackson because of the square. You know, it's got those antlers that come across it. But you got Yellowstone is just amazing place. It's and the Grand Tetons are my favorite. Number one, the most beautiful place I've ever seen in the lower 48. Period. And we have not made to Alaska yet. I hear that it is beautiful up there, and we will go. We probably won't go this next year, but maybe the next. We don't know. It just depends on how COVID opens the borders and all that stuff. Gonzo said, I was at the scene. Matt Gabby's stepfather. We paid our respects. Awesome, Gonzo. Awesome. Um, you know, I'm there is a we wanted to talk about where Brian is, or where everybody thinks Brian is, because it's mostly there are a lot of people have said that social media has helped. Even the family says social media has helped. And as long as it doesn't get in the way of really trying to um, muddy the waters or anything. Gonzo, you said working the Murphy case since a lot of the last couple of days. Wow. Have you ran into Barry while you were out there? Maddie said the 700 number is not correct. There'd been 1 to 3 people missing in the Grand Tetons. And I would think that probably are working it hard. Well, that's great, Gonzo. We appreciate it. I know all of us do. Um, but uh, Bob, I don't know the correct number. Probably it's in less than a. I know that a bunch of people go missing in the state park every year. One is they hike alone, which I understand wanting to get out and do your own thing, but how many have we talked about on this channel itself that have been hiking alone that turned up missing, and a lot of them have turned up dead. Um, you know, I thank you, Beach Bum. I appreciate you putting up that petition. If everybody can get on that petition, and just if you can't click on that, go and highlight it and Google it and see if you can't sign that petition. Um, how many times have we talked about females, especially females? There've been as many probably males too, but a huge amount of females that would hike by themselves. Um, wow, Gonzo, wow. Um, I think that and I don't understand when it's so inexpensive that you put this little. They have these little GPS things you put on your collar of your like on your pack, and there's 2 or 3 ways it can go off. One is just push a button, sends a message to a plane. Actually, not, it goes to a satellite, says, hey, something's wrong, these coordinates, put it out to a rescue. Or if you fall over, this thing will go off, just like on a boat. If you get tipped, the boat tips over, then the or it gets wet, the EPIRB will go off. It's basically a personal EPIRB. Now, I think I've seen them for $100. It'd be well worth it if you were going to be hiking by yourself. Yeah, by yourself. That would be, you know, well worth having. And if you're going to hike by yourself, I personally think everybody should be like scuba diving. You should have a buddy go with you. It's just today is just like it is. Yeah, Gonzo, you be careful out there. We don't know. You're talking about a man that is out on bond for murder, and which is surprising to me. And he will. There's no telling if he really thinks he's going away forever. There's just no telling what will happen. I would be very careful. Um, let's talk about some of the rumors on this Brian's missing, some of the rumors that are out there. Uh, I watched a couple of guys talk last night. They had 10,000 people in their chat, and they were talking about um, Dog the Bounty Hunter. Now, personally, I think Dog the Bounty Hunter show is made up and it's um, staged. All of his arrests and stuff to me are staged. Uh, I just don't, you know what I mean? It's just, it's all Hollywood. And the thing with it, but here's where there is some good to it that he is down there. Here's the thing. He's got so many diehard fans, and these people see him talk to these prisoners and try to get their life straight in the back of his car and all this kind of thing. That he has gotten established these tip lines, and believe it or not, he's getting a lot of tips. I heard over 1,000 tips. And but I have worked around a lot of bounty hunters. I have never seen but a handful that I would even want to be in the same state with them. There, some of them I'm saying are the real deal. They go out and they do pick up people and they do a good job, but I've also seen them actually do stuff that is reckless, dangerous, and could have gotten me killed or sued. We were out there as a law enforcement backing somebody up, just staying in the area while they tried to get somebody out of a house. And I'm telling you, they did some stuff that after I saw them do something, I said, guys, y'all are on your own. I'm leaving. And we left because they pulled a grandma off a porch at one house, and it was just, you know, I told the guy,
Yeah.
you touch that girl again, you going to jail, and he
No.
said, well, we got this that. I said, well, you got it on your own. We'll see you. Well, and went back to my supervisor and told him, I said, nope, these guys are reckless and they're a lawsuit waiting to happen. But
Right.
um, uh, I think that I think he can get a lot of people that want to
No.
talk to him and that want to, you know, for whatever reason, they want to give him information where they wouldn't give the FBI information. And his son currently married a girl in Alabama and is associated with about 10 bonding companies in North Alabama. I think, Maui, I don't think the FBI is doing the investigation of it. The U.S. Marshals will be the one that goes after this guy. And I've made a comment on my private Facebook the other day. I said, you know, you got the best manhunters in the whole world, the U.S. Marshals that are trying to find this guy. Why wouldn't you want a clown like a dog on, you know, out there uh, trying to get the headlines? I'm telling you, I know a lot of U.S. Marshals, and they are top notch. I would not want to try to hide when it comes down to it. They got all the fancy toys, and you know, be crazy. Yeah, dog had a daughter that passed away, and he's doing it from his heart and is sincere. Grateful Lily, I'm glad you think so, but you know, I know this, and I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying that uh, I don't think. I think the only thing he can do in this situation is he can establish a tip line and uh, get it, you know, get people to give to him. Marshals are the ones that go after fugitives. So I would say the marshals are involved. They're not, they don't seek headlines, and you probably will not know that a marshal is wanting, you know, they're after him, but I guarantee you the U.S. Marshals, the FBI will go out and investigate things as they go, but and they will follow up leads. But when they comes down to it of somebody going after the fugitive, the U.S. Marshals will be the one that does it, and they are the best in the world. That I'm serious, and I'm not just saying that. I've got friends in the marshals. We had in law enforcement. They established what they call a fugitive task force, and they let guys. I personally have worked with the marshals on many cases on getting people, and I'm telling you, they are the number one best in the world. Yes, marshals are undercover and elite, but not all marshals are undercover. The like a U.S. Marshal's office will have like they'll be in every big city in the United States and some smaller towns, and when they come in to do it, they'll be all in plain clothes, and they'll come in and they have all the fancy toys to find people too. Hey, what? Hey, Dina, watch that cat. The cat's walking. Cat's by the door. Um, I don't want the cat to get out. Uh, Moses, come here. Moses. He's been in my lap all day, just about. I've been trying to do some stuff. Uh, but you can be assured that the U.S. Marshals are on this case. I'm telling you, they are out there looking for him. I'm sure. Yeah, I've got a friend that was an air marshal. I'm not sure he's not an air marshal now. He's head of security at a huge airplane factory, but he used to do that too. He used to travel everywhere. I have seen the Mexican photo, and out of all the photos that's out there, that one looks more like him. But here's what you got to think about. Um, and I heard, I think it was John Walsh or talking about this. You got a guy in Mexico, doesn't speak any Spanish. Um, the cartel down there would more than be glad than snatch him up for the reward money. Um, you know, for a bargaining chip, whatever. And Mexico actually will call the FBI themselves. They will turn him in. I mean, they don't. Only thing I can say that I heard somebody say, and I don't know this for sure. They said that he might go to Mexico so that I don't know if Mexico, some foreign governments will not extradite if the death penalty is in play. So that might be a way to get out of the death penalty if they agree to ship him back to the United States if they take death penalty off the table. I know that is a lot of places in Europe would do that. They'll say we'll extradite, but you have to take the death penalty off the table. Which I don't know if that's if that would be true. That is, it did look like him. There was also a photo of a girl that saw somebody in, I think, I want to say Atlanta, somewhere like that, and had a picture of a guy. He didn't look, to me, he didn't look anything like him. But you know how many people they are with bald heads? And my son, of course, is a lot, he's a little bit larger, but if you saw him without his hat on, with his beard, I mean, somebody might say, hey, that he's a different size guy. But at first, he might. But yeah, I think he probably would be shaven now. Um, he can't grow hair because he's bald, but you know. Okay, Mexico will not extradite if there's death penalty on the table. So, well, yeah, you're right. But would you want to be held in a Mexican jail? I mean, the Mexican jail. I know. I think Dog was actually arrested down there for one trying to pick up somebody. Um, Yeah, let me tell you what I think. If he's alive, and I kind of think, I didn't think he was alive at first, but then I started listening to these farmers that live around that swamp. They were searching, and they said that they don't believe he's in there because they didn't see any buzzards flying, and you know they don't think he's there at all. And you said, I know you're saying his family owns this yacht company, and I've heard his family's worth $5 million. But here's the thing: why is his family living in about a $300,000 house if they're worth $5 million?
I told
I
you.
know what you said, but I just don't.
Down where are they? Where are they living? Down in Florida.
Right, but
Okay,
it's not
Tommy.
living in. They're living in a $300,000 house.
Tommy,
Oh my
get
gosh!
down.
Look here, just hopped up on the chair with us right now.
Some people don't care about how fancy houses.
Right,
and
but
stuff.
if you had $5 million,
I wouldn't live in I wouldn't live in a big old house.
well, you probably wouldn't live in. I don't know. I just think
You're
that.
wrong on that.
Okay, well, it's my opinion. Uh, they have 4 houses. BS is they have 4 houses. I mean, how do we know that? I mean, I've heard all this, but I haven't. Nobody's. I mean, where can I find that out that they have? I heard they had a boat, and I saw the boat. It wasn't. Yeah, he's a lap dog. Okay, um, it was a um, like a bass boat, more or less, a little Boston whaler or something.
Sanders said he
You know,
believes his parents have property there. Get down, down, down.
Maggie, wait a minute. Hold on just a minute.
Get down.
Maggie,
Stop.
hold on just a minute.
Maggie.
She's.
I don't know how she got up there.
I don't know how she got up there either, but she's in.
Maggie, come here. Let her go.
Wait a minute. I'll get her off in just a minute. She's in my lap. She's not a lap dog.
There is not room for all
She's
of
not a she's not a lap dog.
Get up.
My son
Come
is
here.
the cause of this. Oh,
Down. Down.
goodness gracious. Oh, look, I'm gonna have to show you this because she's like
I told her to get
taking over Dina's side of the chair.
down.
Down,
Down.
Maggie.
Now you sit down. No, that's my chair. That's like last night when she fussed at me to get up.
Yeah, last night it was about time to go to bed, and Dina and Maggie walked up to the couch and started just talking to her, just like, you're in my chair, get down. And then Dina got up and went to bed, and she hopped in the middle of the chair, slept for all night. So, yeah, she thinks she's a small dog. She really does.
No.
Look at that. How can you look at that face, Dina, and talk to her?
Because she's like a teenager that doesn't know you're not supposed to do that. Children are supposed to be seen, but not heard. And you've been seen too much. I'd rather hear you.
Look at this. Look at that face. How
Stop.
can you do that?
Do your talking.
Yeah, ours was 85 pounds. But personally, if it was me, I had $5 million. My son's in trouble over something. I'm going to go. Why stay in this house if you got $5 million in the bank? Why stay in this house with these protesters in front of your house? You got that much money, go somewhere else. Go to Belize or wherever, But there's also Dog Bounty Hunter said that he had information, 2 pieces of information. He had information that they had gone down to a park in DeSoto on their 3-day trip. They took Brian down there. All of 3 of them went down there, and only 2 of them came back, supposedly. And the fact that somebody mentioned he possibly could be around Alligator Alley in South Florida. So there had been some reports that people are flying planes down there looking for him. So I went to a program that I have access to that shows you all the planes in the United States. Now, this is Alligator Alley up here, about 3/4 of a way up the top of the page. But that's one plane that drove or flew around there and flew in some circles that I thought it was kind of weird. But at the same time, this whole area is used for flight training because there's nothing out there, and they can do all kinds of stuff. That plane, that N number, is registered to out of Naples Air Center, and is actually best I could tell, a rental plane. So it could be somebody rents one to go fly. I mean, a lot of police departments won't own their own planes; they'll just rent one. It's a lot cheaper and don't have to maintain it. This is another plane, and you can look here. This one flew down Alligator Alley, and he did circles like checking out places. It was just real suspicious.
Night Owl said, can they get the parents for anything, for questioning to get information?
If they say they don't want to talk without a lawyer, they don't have to talk without a lawyer, period. And lawyers told them not to speak, so no, really they can. I mean, you can pull somebody in for questioning, but if they walk in there and all they have to do is say, want to talk to my lawyer, and you can't say nothing to them, you can't even question them anymore.
Nixon, yes, they did go on a trip before Gabby's body was found.
Yes, they went on a 3-day trip, we think, to DeSoto, and I'm going to show you some evidence that they did go to DeSoto Park. But you can see this plane circled around out there, and that's just odd flight behavior. This one was another one, flew out, did some circles in there, and these are actual flight paths of a plane. This is and it tells the type of plane over to the left that it is. This was another one that flew around this DeSoto National Park area. And I mean, they're just like they're looking for something. This is, I mean, who flies a plane like that unless they're trying to find somebody or something, you know? This was another one here. This one was straight down Allig- Allig- Alligator Alley, straight down it, and then curled off and landed at the airport. But they just went absolutely straight down it. There's about 3 different aircraft that was kind of suspicious. This one right here went straight down there and circled about 20 times over this one spot in the middle of that swampy area. And there's nothing out there. I mean, it's like the Everglades type thing. This is a message that the parents put out today. The speculation by the public, some of the press, that the parents, their lawyer put it out, the parents assisted Brian leaving the family home or avoiding an arrest on the warrant that was issued after Brian had already been missing for several days is just wrong. Well, I think they left before the warrant was issued. I mean, he could say that as long as they left before the warrant issued. That's it. This was a Twitter feed from a guy that said this is a park down in Florida, around DeSoto, I think it is. It's they received through public records um, that the campground was visited by the Bryan family, or Brian's mother and father. But let me tell you why we're talking about this. Noric Trek, okay, or nomadic trek. Uh, Chris McDonald, with the interview room, came out with a video the other day saying that he believed that this guy is a secret Twitter account of Brian Laundrie. I mean, he claimed he's straight out a account, and there you would not believe all the people that was hating on Chris on Twitter, and still every day they're hating on him. But I'm gonna tell you, I was very suspicious of the way this was all going on until Chris asked him something. I'm gonna show you, and I responded to this guy. This guy is very suspicious to me. I'm thinking Chris may be onto something, and I'm going to show you why. Okay. Well, he keeps putting out all this kind of stuff about bullying, and look, see, the part of the solution to combat online bullying and harassment. Unsubscribe and report the interview room today. Ban the bullies. Well, that's fine if you're not Brian. But here's what this guy puts out. And this is where I get very suspicious that this may indeed be Brian. Sorry, I'm not Brian Laundrie. Hate to disappoint Chris McDougal, says Greg Cooper, the interview room, are whacked. YouTube and all this stuff says, tune out the goofballs. I'm just traveling, a retired LEO with a daughter near Gabby Petito's age. Like many, this case has touched me. Justice for Gabby. Now, I'm going to tell you, he said he was a retired law enforcement officer. Here's where he messed up. Okay. Here's what Chris says to him in the same Twitter post. So I have one question for the owner of the Twitter account we talked about last night, who is now saying is retired LEO. What agency did you retire from? What is your ORI and your ID number? Seeing a person says he's a retired law enforcement officer or LEO will be the easy one to verify. Let's see. Now, he sent this. Here's what this guy said. That would be insane for me to safely, that would be insane from an safety perspective for me and my family. My vehicle's license plates are even unlisted. That is no way for him to do that. Start off. Mine are not unlisted, and I work some of the most sensitive cases out there. I know that several FBI agent friends of mine, their tags are not unlisted unless you're working. If when I was working and my unmarked cars tags were unlisted, but I even had an undercover driver's license. But this is not. This is a retired. He said he's retired. That's impossible for him to do. Start off with. Might as well publish my address arrest too, dude. You really get a life and get out of the house more. Okay, that's fine. Here's what I said to him. I said, and I did it through my 1 million mile road trips. I don't have a Twitter account or anything else. I don't think we do. I said, Chris is not asking for your license for his license number. It's not what he did. Chris asked for his ORI, and that's the let me tell you what that is in a few minutes. I said that's the number, the PD of the PD that is only issued to that PD for messages over NCIC. The number is known by every real law enforcement officer and is not confidential, and is, if he were a real retired LEO, he would know that. And here's what he says to mine. Really? A question of knowing? I know it. Wrote it, typed it hundreds of times. Question is, do I care to share with the dip triplets in the inner, he calls it the intercourse course room? I pass. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The ORI would be the easiest thing that he could give. The ORI is the identification number of your PD, period. I put it on every single ticket that I ever wrote, every single arrest report that I ever wrote has the ORI on it at the top of it. My last one was 00-500-0100. And so, I mean, and it goes on every single ticket that you write at the top. So it would have been very easy for him to just spat off his ORI. I mean, if he didn't want to tell him who he is through a badge number, or if he didn't want to tell him who he is through a any other number, that's fine. But if prove he's a law enforcement officer and just tell me to say his ORI. So I'm very suspicious of this guy. Whether or not he's Brian, I don't know. But I doubt very seriously he is retired law enforcement. One is he criticizes law enforcement at the drop of a hat, everything he says. And, I've been out of law enforcement about 8 and 9 years, and I'm going to tell you this. I
Baggy,
still,
Gracie.
I will not criticize them. Even if they're wrong, I may not even criticize them. I may just hold my breath, hold my nose, you might say, and let it go by for a while. I'm just not. You can't work for people. You can't work in an industry like law enforcement where you got all these brothers and sisters laying their lives on the line every single day and be critical of them. I can't do it. I don't know Chris. I don't know Duty Ron. I've talked, and when Chris was with Profile and Evil, I sent him my information when they asked for it. Never heard a thing from him again. I don't know him. I don't know about his career, if he did all the things he said he did. I don't know. But I'm not going to criticize him when I don't know. And I think this guy, that whoever this guy is, he won't tell who he is, his real name. He knows a whole lot about this case. He took down some of his posts. He put some yellow sticky kind of notes on his Twitter thing that said, "You wouldn't believe how many people that die in the national forest commit suicide." In other words, he was trying to cast doubt of suicide on Gabby's crime, even though he said, "No, I'm not saying this by Gabby." That's exactly what he was saying. Now, if you want to read some, I would encourage you, if you have Twitter, or if you could go and make you just a Twitter account, go back and look at his posts that he's made. He has he's made some posts that make it made me. I'll be honest with you. When Chris first brought this up, I was like, well, maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at it. But when he said he was retired law enforcement, Chris challenged him on it by saying his ORI. I said that was the key. If he doesn't come back with that ORI, I'm not. I'm gonna think it could be, or at least he's saying he's not a cop, never been a cop, because a cop would know that and would spat it off with no problem at all. I would if I was in that situation. He doesn't want to, because he's never been, he will never convince me he's been a cop until he tells, puts things that everybody should know if you've been in law enforcement. Whether or not he's Brian, I don't know. He is if it is Brian, it shows this. It shows that he is next to the internet. He's got good internet service because he's on all hours. And looks like to me the FBI could pick up with a, you know,
iPad.
ISP, or, but you know yourself, even if you go to Google, you can go incognito. They got this free VPN now where you can basically go there and you can be incognito. I mean, nobody can just see where you're transmitting from. It goes from this guy to this, I mean, this point to this point to this point. Uh, okay, go ahead.
I'm back 30 minutes ago. Where do you think Brian is? And Mr. T, can you see what helicopters are doing?
Well, these are all aircraft on that page. Um, it's all aircraft. Anything with an N number, even a drone, if it they can is supposed to. Anything that has a I think it's ALS. In other words, if he's squawking, if you're up there VFR and you're in within a certain amount of airspace, you have to if you have to be in contact with the tower to let other planes know where you are. So they'll contact, like he might come on the Miami Central. This is so and so VFR, and they'll say squawk this frequency, and you go over to that frequency and you squawk it one time, and it lets them know, oh, he's flying at 5,000 feet, and headed VFR. That's visual flight. He's not on a IFR. IFR is instrument. That means you got to tell him exactly where he's going. But VFR, we're just flying around here. VFR, we're just got our eyes open. We expect to look out for other planes, and we can't be up in the jetway at 30,000 feet, but you can be down like 4 or 5,000. And most of these planes are flying at 2,500 feet, so that's fairly low.
Okay, Rhonda said, my tag is not listed in Florida for being a correctional officer. I submitted a form to DMV. May be different in other states.
You didn't have anything like that in Alabama. They said tough. uh, and I know of FBI agents that have their tags listed in Alabama. That's good. I'm glad you do. I wish that was way all over the place, but so if he did, he does. We just never had anything like that.
Any word on Boone, North Carolina claim sighting today?
I haven't heard that other than the fact that Dog's daughter came out and said they had a credible sighting in North Carolina. And where this comes back from is Brian had actually done a 30-day hiking trip on the Appalachian Trail. He's very familiar with the Appalachian Trail. But here's the thing, unless hikers are doing what they call through hikes, or they're not familiar with this case, and this thing has been everywhere, and they got posters up on all of these trails, even on the Appalachian Trail, to be on the lookout for him. The Appalachian Trail is it's way populated. The times we went up there following the leaves down, we saw hundreds of hikers that were come by these places that they are at. I would doubt it very seriously, but could be. I just think, I just, I'm under the opinion that his parents put him somewhere for a while until they can get this thing, established. One, how she died by the autopsy. It's not the fact, I mean, they probably know if he told them, and I'm sure he did, what happened. But when the autopsy comes back and they definitely say they have a warrant for his arrest, then either one or two things going to happen. He's going to try his parents to make him disappear, or they're going to try to make some type of arrangements to get him turned in. What's going to happen, though, I'm telling you, if he is confronted by the police, I personally do not think that he's going to be taken alive, because he's not going to go that way. I don't think he wants to go to prison for the rest of his life. And he probably, I personally thought that he was dead in the swamp. I thought he went out there and killed himself. But who knows? Yeah, Eric Robert Rudolph. He was captured, in North Carolina, eating out of garbage cans. Sure was. He was eating out of a garbage can, and a rookie officer saw him, and confronted him and then captured him. But he was actually not doing so good. And think about too, the Appalachian Trail. The Appalachian Trail, in about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, for the most part, will have snow on it, almost everywhere on it, in a few months. And it's, you can't be hiking in the wintertime in that type of snow. I mean, it goes all the way to Maine. And we were up here the other day, and I was talking to somebody, and I said, "Do y'all get a lot of snow?" And the girl said, "I went to bed one night, woke up the next morning, it was knee deep snow." So, I mean, and this is not even in the high country. I think we're 1,000 feet above sea level. Somebody said something here. I was waiting on Tony. I guess he got delayed.
Maybe he went to sleep.
He may have. But when Chris challenging him for that ORI, it told me a whole lot. But I would suspect that with Dog the bounty hunter down there, that he is going to generate some leads, and I hope those leads turn up something that is going to get him caught. But here's the thing: his parents know. In my opinion, I think his parents know where he's at, and he's talking to somebody or getting help from somebody. He left his wallet, which means he doesn't have any credit cards unless they gave him a new credit card under some. If they owned a company, he could have a credit card through their company. You know, if it just
He's coming right now.
you know.
Tony's coming right now.
Okay, Tony is coming right
I got
now.
on to him, guys. He's coming right now.
Okay, I think that I don't think he's on the Appalachian Trail. I do not, because you're right. Who was talking about that? The joy catcher. You're exactly right. That area in the winter can be brutal. It can. It's just like hiking in any mountainous terrain. And the Appalachian Trail, some of those mountains go up long, long way. You took your son fishing September 11th, Saturday, to Fort DeSoto Fishing Pier. And yeah, that's somebody said that, but I don't think the FBI is here he is. I don't think the FBI is that serious that they're out there and the searching
Introduce
it.
Tony to some of the new people.
Some of y'all that are new here,
That gray-headed man.
this gray-headed old guy that's sitting beside me, I think he's in a nursing home. I'm not sure. No, uh, this is Tony. Tony is a retired law enforcement officer. He's got experience working traffic homicide investigator. He was chief investigator for a department he worked at last before he retired. So he's been around the block with me, and
They worked
he's
in
also
two separate towns close to each other.
yeah, we're right
on
next.
the
He's
same island.
also a paramedic and teaches paramedic. Is that correct?
And
Mhm.
lifeguard.
But I'm
Yeah,
not
you
in
were
the
a life.
old folks
He was
home
a
like you
lifeguard before he got as big as me. So yeah.
are.
Where you been? Did you forget about me?
Yeah, I did.
So it happens when you get old.
That's right. You know what they say about
Well,
Alzheimer's? Every day you meet someone new and you get new friends.
That's right. That's
hey,
exactly
Tony, you need a B12 shot like me.
Yes. I don't know. I might need a B44 shot.
right. Yeah, 44. That's our 48.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people telling you hello.
Oh,
Uh,
hello. Let me put on the comments so I can. Okay, now I've got it where I can see. Hello, everyone.
we were just
Thank you
talking.
also for. I see where Flo Bay said, "Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you very much." I
Yes,
enjoyed
sir.
29 years of law enforcement and over 30 years being a medic and a firefighter too.
Mhm. Okay,
Y'all have over
WD-40.
62 years of service combined.
Ooh, that's a lot.
That's
That's
a lot of
old.
service. 62 years between the two of y'all. And both of
Yeah,
you lived through.
I don't think there's anybody to give you an insurance policy for something that's that old. So
Nope.
no warranty work on that. It's time to
No
get a new
warranty.
one.
Yeah, yeah. Warranty won't cover you.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
Criminal Gossiper says, what do you make of the Mustang story and how does that fit in?
well, I kind of think the Mustang story was a throw off. The parents first off they went on this camping trip in this camper attached to the back side of the truck, and the camper they all three of them go off. Only two of them come back. The Mustang, I think, was a ruse. The parents drove it out there to the swamp, left it until the ranger comes by, puts a ticket on the truck saying it's going to be towed. So the parents go back out there, pick up the Mustang, and take it home. I think that was a big ruse. I don't think he's in that. Don't you think that the buzzards would be circling them if they was, if he was laying out there somewhere?
Oh, by now with all what they had in there trying to look for him there, they'd have found him if he would have been there with
Oh
that kind
yeah,
of
I
a
think
situation
so.
like you described. He'd have to be underwater or something,
Yeah,
and even then,
he'd
depending
be
on the
floating.
time frame for now, he would probably be floating unless if he went out there by himself and did something stupid, then like I said, and like you just said, he'd be floating. You'd think.
Yeah. Holding what looks to be like a 38 on their site. I didn't
380.
I didn't see that one. I don't know. I didn't see that one, but somebody I
There's a
had heard.
zero there at the end of that 38 there, old Tom. You might want to look
Well,
at
it's
that again. It's just
380. I'm sorry.
380.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I had
You,
heard.
you got these on like me.
Yeah, I had heard that somewhere that Brian was a legal carrier, but um,
Dead
see that
man don't need a lawyer.
we need we need to we need to get that tox report back so they'll say, hey, they were shot or OD or hitting the head. Get something from the tox report.
I'm
Uh,
surprised that they have not, they hadn't had a leak or something by now about
in the
the
autopsy.
what the autopsy has said in regards to the findings of why they ruled it officially as a homicide. Usually you would have had, my goodness, as much stuff that leaks out of the government now, you would think that something would have been leaked out of that for sure. I mean, come on.
What is that? We have our government is like a colander, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
Nixon
No,
Barley.
you know what it's called? It's called Wag the Dog. You ever heard that? Wag the
Yeah.
dog?
Yes.
That's exactly
Nick,
what goes on.
Nixon Barley says, I wonder if he will evade capture as long as Eric Frayne or
Green.
did 48 days. Hard when people are looking for you. He will eventually make mistakes, etc. Yeah, and you got to have money to be on your
Oh,
own.
come on now. Come on now. He's got the dog looking for him. It
Yeah,
ain't
that's
going to
true.
be long.
Yeah, see, if you
It
hadn't
ain't going to
forgot,
be long.
we talked about the dog looking for him, and I said, it's I didn't believe that the dog would be able to do anything, but the dog does bring a lot of people believe in him, and you may get a lot of tips.
Yeah.
They've already had a
Yeah.
bunch of tips, from
Yeah.
everywhere, but
Well, you
I don't
remember
know.
what I told you? Remember what I told you earlier today? I stopped at a red light and I
Yeah,
had to take
yeah.
a double take. I was like, oh, Lord, I don't want to go 10-8.
Yeah, that Tony was at a red light down where he lives, looks over, and there's a guy in a truck that looked just like Brian. I mean, you imagine that.
Just like him.
You got everybody bald head and in a beard, and
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty. I mean, look at my son. He looks a lot like him, but he's just not
How
as
many bald headed guys have been
yeah with
pulled over at
with
gunpoint
beards or
and put
something.
on concrete and said spread?
You can imagine if
Oh my God.
Yeah.
he's probably shaved by now. He needs to shave completely by now because the beard, I mean, is a true giveaway.
Okay, Rhonda said they had bullet holes in trees where she was found. They marked them with paint. It looked as though she was running to get away and he just shooting in the night.
God,
I'm still kind of
Thanks,
wondering
Beach Bum.
I still have to say I'm kind of wondering what that tie-in with the other two ladies that got murdered up there.
well, here's the thing. Here's a latest on
I
that
need to
I heard.
look into that more and just kind of read what maybe might come out of that. But it just seemed
Well,
like that was kind of a weird thing that they mentioned all this in the middle of that. somebody
A
must have
coincidence.
something must have been found or something. It just kind of makes me wonder about that.
Well, the police up there said that they're not related, but the FBI just took a bunch of DNA from his parents' house and his room to find DNA for him. And I'm wondering
Mhm.
if they're trying to eliminate him on that case up there
Crime
through
scene.
DNA.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, or I was thinking maybe they needed DNA too in case they found his body and he was unrecognizable, you know, to find out if it was him or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But if she was running like that and he was shooting a gun at her, and did shoot her, I think
Hmm.
the rescue found a shallow grave, maybe or something up there. I can't imagine her just laying out on the ground. Surely he
And
wouldn't have
I
let her
did
lay
see
on
that
the ground.
video where the people that were had the camera when they were passing by the vehicle, they
Right.
do some sort of other YouTube thing or something. Anyway, though, they were talking about that there was a glimpse of a figure out there in the field right when they were passing. It does make you wonder if that's when it had just happened or something like
Yeah,
that.
because
And
her
you would
foot
you
was
would also think this, playing the hypothetics, if in fact he had just done that there, you wouldn't think he would want to be there long. So that would even correlate with that.
Yeah, somebody's talking about DeSoto Key. DeSoto Key was a place that the family had went took that 3-day vacation was down there around DeSoto Key, and there's 5 keys down there, little
And
small islands down there,
yeah,
and that'd be a place easily to get a boat there and go anywhere. You know, if you get a boat and go around the the tip of Florida. You could actually, if you had a big enough boat, you could go from there straight to South America or wherever. You know,
hmm,
I don't know. I heard somebody was saying here they heard they have 4 homes and I heard they're worth about $5 million. But and Dina disagrees with me.
totally.
Totally disagrees with me. Why are they living in a $300,000 house with $5 million and they're a separate company or whatever? I just don't. And have 4 other homes when you got. Here's my reason of that. You got 4 other homes, and you got protesters on megaphones in front of your house. Why are you still there?
yeah,
Get
that
somebody.
I
If you
agree.
don't
You
want to
wouldn't be
drive,
there.
no. If
You
you
just
don't want to
leave there and
drive,
go somewhere they don't know where you're at. Yeah, I see what
right.
you're
If you
saying.
don't want to drive, have a couple of guys, security people, pick you up in black vans, and you take off, and they lose these people out there, and you could go wherever you want to go. I just don't believe if they've got condos and houses and different locations that they're going to stay right there at that house and let people talk on megaphones out there and camp out in front of your house. I just don't
Hmm.
believe it.
I still kind of find it odd still that if they had that kind of money, why would they have let the kids go off in a little van like they had anyway too?
Well,
And the little camper that they put on the back of the truck for the
Yeah.
three of them.
yeah. And here's the thing. I as far as the van and letting the kids go off in the van, that's a that's a that's a in thing now is van life,
I
van camp.
understand what you're saying, Tommy. I'm talking about though that if the family was a little bit better off, I'm kind of shocked that they would not have something better to travel in. That's what I'm trying to say.
I I think they were just that's just kind of a
I wouldn't let my kids, first of all, do it
well,
in the first place, but that's just
I
me.
mean if they're
However,
older, you really can't
well,
if
yeah, if
they're
they're older, but I still wouldn't
you
want them
know.
to be traveling in something that wasn't safe. That's just me.
Yeah. I don't think the actual it's kind of like an in thing right now. The van life is a lot of people are doing it. Even
Mm,
adults are going in vans now just because you can park a van in a parking lot and sleep all night there and you don't have to
mm,
go to a campground. And it was Gabby's van
Yeah.
too. And
mm,
I think it was just a kind of a thing. She wanted to do this YouTube channel, and I think that was one of the reasons why that Brian had a real problem with it. This was a way for her to have something on her own and
Hmm.
kind of be. She was 22, right? She just kind of wanted to do this kind of thing on her own. So, you know, um, uh, I think it was just there, and he kind of he wanted. I heard that he was very, very controlling. You know, he
Mm.
wanted to control her life and wanted to be controlled, narcissistic personality. You know, just I don't know,
Well,
but I
if you remember the night that we got on there and started talking, this was before she was found or anything. When I watched 19 minutes into that
I promise you, I'm
video of the law enforcement, I told you right then, okay, there was some deception. There was some other things going
yeah,
on that those other officers, I guess, they may or may not have picked up on. I'm not really sure. I don't want to judge them. However, I can watch myself to see he was showing some clues that there was something that it would have triggered me to kind of there would have been something more to
no,
this.
Pam,
I don't know. I mean, I guess when you've I mean, you and I, we've done it for so blooming long. We've had enough people to pull the wool over our eyes in the sense too, as much that you want to give people the shadow of the doubt, as they say, but that that he was really showing deception. So
well, the one thing that they dropped the ball big time on that particular case with the van is
mm.
the dispatcher. I listened. The dispatcher's call said a guy called in and said, "Hey, I just passed this van and this guy is slapping this girl all over her face, beating her in the head basically with his fists, you know, slapping her." And that information was not passed on to
To
those
the
guys
officers,
in the field. And
yeah,
if it was, that would have been a put him in jail right then. I mean, it wouldn't have been even a question. It wouldn't have got to where they were. They would have just
hmm,
got him out of the car and put him in cuffs. And because, you know, but that information was never relayed to the street guy on the street, and that
right,
was a huge drop the ball. That'd be like them sending you to a gun call and not telling you that the guy's got a gun. You know,
right,
go out and talk to the guy about his problem with his neighbor. Oh, they didn't tell you the guy's standing on the front porch with a shotgun. You know, that it's just
Somebody says down at the bottom, S. Lee R says it was passed on and that was released. Are you saying that
I
was
did
passed on to the officers on the scene?
I didn't see that. I listened to the if you listen to the body cam of the officer going to the scene, uh, I never heard that was passed on. If it was, that was a gigantic mistake on those officers on the street because we, as me and Tony, if we would have rolled up on that type of call, the first thing I'd have done was put him in handcuffs because he would have been the one that was the aggressor. No matter what she said right off the bat, he was a dispatch says they got a witness. Okay, S. Lee, I did not hear it. If then those guys dropped the ball, in my opinion, because he should have been arrested
Hmm.
based on the dispatcher telling me that he had this witness, and I would have had dispatch have that witness meet me down the road so I could get a statement from him,
Hmm.
you know, so that I could go ahead and arrest
Well,
him for
anybody that's
domestic
ever
violence.
investigated domestic violence, period, any officer will be able to tell you that many times the aggressor may, in fact, not have caused a visible injury to a victim, but the aggressor will have what is really defensive wounds from the victim, and
Hmm.
that can also be a factor. So it is important to gather all the information, which is the reason why they have domestic violence laws to give officers the ability to make a arrest, but allow the judge to find whether they're guilty or innocent. Being arrested does not necessarily mean that someone is immediately guilty anyway. So that is the whole purpose of why we have protection methods in place for domestic violence.
Yeah, so when I first started years ago, when Tony first started years ago, the the victim had to press charges before you could make an arrest.
Right.
The wife had to say, I want him arrested before you can do it. I will press charges. But nowadays, there's a domestic violence law in Alabama or in most states that says you come out there and there's evidence of domestic violence, you must arrest. Not you can, you must. So they kind
It
of
says
puts it in.
shall.
You shall. Says here, remote viewers are saying that they might have been a party at a bunch
With
of
a bunch of
people that took mescaline LSD, and Gabby got pushed off. I'm sorry, Pia Hess. I don't believe in remote viewers. I tell you why I don't. And I know that the Army is supposed to use these got experiments with remote viewers, but there were several remote viewers that supposedly one of them was this famous guy, and he did a remote viewing of where the body of Suzanne Morphew was, and they sent people out there, and of course they never found anything. I just don't. Tony, I don't know if you're familiar with remote viewing. Remote viewing is where they get in some type of trance and they view the crime scene
Oh, you're
Like-
talking about
like
people like there
um,
used to be a show. It might still be on or
like
not.
a
I don't
medium or
remember.
something. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
use one that's
Some
medium,
type.
and they
I
use
know,
that guy. He
honestly,
was he was a New York detective or something.
Dead Files.
Dead Files. My wife helped me out. Dead
yeah.
Files. That was yeah. If that's what you're talking about, I guess.
Well, apparently the Army did some study where they had remote viewers. People claimed that they could see things, uh, that's happening 1,000 miles away
Mhm.
and all this stuff. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. I'm not. If you believe in, here's the thing, okay? It's a learned skill. They say, but I've never, Miss Tammy, I've never seen one time that they have led, or a medium has led to any, or a psychic that has led to the finding some grave or how anybody did something. I just can't. I don't believe in them. I don't believe in psychics. I don't believe in all that stuff because I have seen people claim that, and I have never once seen it work out. And I've got 33 years of law enforcement. Tony's got probably as much or more than me. I don't think either one of us have ever had a psychic come to us and say, so and so did it. And then you go out there. Listen, I can guess with the best of them. And it's like the old saying they have in the
I say
South.
somebody the profile BS says they will lead you to your checkbook. Yeah,
Yeah.
the palm
And it's
readers and stuff, they definitely do that.
like they say in the South, even a blind squirrel can find a nut, once or twice in their life. I just don't think I just don't think that is something that I think is the real deal. I have not
You
seen.
know,
I want
something
to see evidence.
something that you just got to bring out. All these little mediums and these palm reader places you'll pass by on the road, and they'll be in these little shack houses with these little rinky dink signs talking
Yeah.
about that they'll foretell their future. Surely they knew their own future, that they wasn't going to have much or nothing doing that there, you would think.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like to me they know what stocks to invest in.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I just,
Yeah, they would have got
I
a lottery
know,
ticket and knew the numbers or something.
right?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
All right, guys, y'all are gonna hurt somebody's feelings on here.
I don't want to, but I'm telling you, I just never. What if you can? Here's what I think. If you can show me where that, and I know that there have been all kinds of people supposedly work with law enforcement and all this. I've heard that all my life, but I've never seen it once. And
Yeah.
I want somebody to show me. I don't want to
Okay.
just
All right. Time
just
out.
do it.
Time out.
Okay.
I will tell you one.
All right.
Okay. Ananias. When Paul was stricken by God on the road to Damascus, and he was taken to Damascus, and he was put up, and for 3 days he was there. Ananias was told by God, go down this street, turn on this street, go to this house, and you will find Paul. He's waiting on you. He's upstairs waiting on you.
But if God tells me something, I believe it. But I'm not
Yeah,
going
to there's a big difference between God and tarot cards.
Read my
just
fortune.
saying. I'm just saying.
Did you hear what I said? I said there's a big difference between God and tarot cards.
Yeah, I don't believe. Listen, I do believe that the Holy Spirit can lead people to impress upon people things that we don't know, and you have to step out.
I will say this for the record, I do kind of disagree with what Tommy's saying. I do think that there can be people that can possibly get some sort of, information or something, not necessarily through some weird Luciferian whatever or another. I'm not talking about that, but like you're kind of talking about with the way you're describing the story in the Bible. I do understand that. And yes, there have actually been, whether some people would call it luck or whatever, I don't care what they want to call it. All I can tell you is there have actually been people found through certain people that are claiming to be even Christian mediums or whatever, and they somehow did give information, and that actually has taken place. There actually has been people found. I'd have to look them up, Tommy, but I know there has been a few.
I'd like to see one. I don't know. As somebody said up here, the Pope uses tarot cards.
We don't want to go there.
I don't.
No,
Catholic, so I don't know anything.
We don't want to go there.
I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, but like Mandy Sand just said, tarot cards and mediums are not from God. You're not.
God
the Bible does say, for those that obviously believe in the Bible, which I do believe in the Bible 110%, but if you mess with that kind of stuff, that's obviously wrong. That's what the Bible tells us. So
yeah,
but there's a difference. There is a difference between prophecy or interpretation of the spirit of God and things like that. So that's different. So I don't necessarily. I know what Medina's trying to say. We're not trying to be disrespectful to anybody's beliefs on here or anything like that.
Yeah,
everybody's going to have their own beliefs and all that kind of stuff. But when we are looking for criminal scenarios or criminal enlightenment to know something that's happened in a crime, then that's obviously what we do. We do want to try to do every avenue we can to help anybody. So, that is what takes place. What happens next, Thomas and Tony, in this case? In the case with Gabby?
I think the U.S. Marshals get this guy I give them about 3 to 4 weeks, and the U.S. Marshals to have him in custody.
I don't know. I'm betting on Dog. I think you'll get him within the next.
Betting on the Dog.
I'm betting on Dog. Oof, oof, oof.
Yeah.
I really wanted to grow my hair as long as Dog's. And I could, I could sport some glasses. Next time I come on here, I'll show you my glasses. Maybe I could be the next Dog, but I couldn't maybe be a bounty hunter. I'd have to just do cases or something, and then I could, I could consult with the Dog.
Yeah, there you go. You consult with the Dog. That's right. Yeah.
But I could try to look like him with white hair. There you go.
He was down in Orange Beach recently.
Yeah,
he's been in Alabama. He's been.
His son owns about is associated with 6 or 7 pawn shops in not pawn shops, but bounty places in North Alabama because he's married to a dispatcher in Athens, Alabama, or
Oh,
was.
cool. Yeah.
So he was, I think, but
I like
um,
what Katie C says. Be the couch dog. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what
there
I'm
you
talking
go.
about.
Karma is
That's
knocking.
good.
Your dog's knocking.
Yeah. I think that honestly, though, we know that the U.S. Marshals are the superior manhunters, and
Oh
they
yeah.
will find him. There's no
Oh
doubt
yeah.
they will find him. And if he's still alive, I'm not
You and
convinced
I,
he's
you and
still
I
alive.
can tell some great tales about the U.S. Marshals. I know you and I both have worked with them. Uh, we have had them to
Yeah.
come. We'd had them come up, and I'm not kidding you, folks. You would have never known they were a U.S. Marshal in what they were driving and the way they dressed or anything like that. And all we were there for is they needed us because we were the uniform, and they wanted to have a patrol car to go there so they could let
Or they
everybody
knew I
understand.
knew where all the bad guys were.
Yeah, yeah. Or we needed to be there to help them to control a crowd if a crowd broke something. But other than that, um, we went to many doors that they had fugitives
Yeah.
that they were.
They
Yeah, and I mean they knew everything about everything. If they want to really catch somebody, they can.
I think what really kind of, and I know
Pam May
a
says
lot of it.
Leland can come looking for her any day.
I think Leland is the one that's married to the dispatcher up in Athens, Alabama. The way I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, you got a hay here, Tony. Let me highlight your hay.
Hello, Black Widow. Please don't bite me.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Black
my
Widow.
epinephrine pen would be quick enough.
Black Widow. It from your picture looks Asian. You know, our daughter's Asian. I didn't know if you knew that or not. I can't believe the guy's still hiding. It looks so bad. It isn't ridiculous now.
I do agree with Pamela on that. I would have thought personally that as soon as a report would have been filed with the circumstances that there would have been there'd have been some more stuff going on. I'm just kind of shocked about that. That one thing I don't know. I don't know about that.
Curtis says my sis retired U.S. Marshal. You're right. They can't tell who's a civilian, who's the law. Yeah, you're right. Exactly.
Is
Yeah.
it possible for Brian to use his drone to watch the authorities?
A possibility, but I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's going to be any. If the I don't know. Somebody put here, did Thomas shut down his chat because both of them are different opinions? No, I mean, we're not shut down anything. We're still talking.
Talk, Tony.
Talk, Tony.
I'm talking. Hello.
I don't know.
I'm trying to read, but the scroll thing is going too fast.
Unlike what's going on in America today, we can disagree and still be friends and talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've told Tommy for a long time that his mustache needs to match his hair, but
Mystic said that she had turned her volume off.
Well, hey, look, don't feel bad, Mystic. I'm pretty sure that my wife loves to turn my volume off too. She's over there laughing, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh man.
See, one's like PS changes the brain.
Sounds like Reba. Are you talking about Medina? Medina, you need to sing.
Oh yeah, no. You don't want me to sing. Listen, when Dakota was 2 years old, I was rocking him to sleep and singing Jesus Loves Me to him. He
Yeah.
put his hand on my face. He said, Mom, please don't sing.
Oh my goodness, that's not good.
Here's Katie C said, oh, she wants the scripture that Tammy was talking about. I don't know which one that is.
I'm going to go back up and read it.
Okay.
I'm glad you can scroll up and read it, because when I try to scroll, it just flips it right back down again.
I think Gabby's case will draw a lot more attention to other people that are missing and out here. Let's hope they do.
Okay, question. Is
Okay.
it possible for Brian's using his drone to watch authorities? I don't know what it is about these animals.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too. He if authorities are anywhere close to him, he's going to be.
First of all, they'd be figuring out who that drone is that's flying where they are anyway.
Yeah.
Because especially if they're doing recon activities, law enforcement will shut anything down that's surrounding the air around them. Heck, if a lot of people think that the news media can't be put down out of the sky. Oh yeah, they can be put down out of the sky.
Yeah. And another thing too, somebody said that his grandmother had a cabin in Montana. Don't you think that the marshals are going to check every relative, everything,
Yeah.
They're not going to.
Read what Maddie said.
Miss T might cut it again.
She's not going to cut my hair. Next time, I'm not cutting it. She cut it way back. She trimmed it the other day. I'm thinking about growing it out, Tony.
No.
I really am.
Your mustache?
No. Don't
your mustache or your hair?
My hair.
I have scissors. He sleeps very
well. It is September. If you can get on it, you can fill one of them Santa jobs and make a little money.
Yeah. No.
And you might even get free candy canes too.
Listen, look at this. Looks good, Grandpa. That's bad. That's bad. Now,
especially
come
when
on.
You're not a grandpa.
Especially because I'm not a grandpa.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Boomer. Hello, okay, Boomer. That's interesting face there. Boomer.
You see what I am, though.
See what?
You see what I am,
Daddy? You're a dolphin, Daddy?
No, what? You don't know what that is.
That's a shark.
Yeah,
a shark, Daddy.
Yeah,
that don't even look like a dolphin. What's wrong with you?
Well, because I thought you might.
Goodness.
Tommy be seeing the dolphins in the Gulf yelling, "Shark, shark, get out!"
Listen to those videos and maybe open my mind up a teensy bit.
No.
Here, let me, Mystic, I'm gonna tell you. Here's the way I feel about all that. Okay. All I want you to do is show me. Show me where they make a difference. Somebody found somebody through these psychics. Somebody did something big. I want somebody to show me. If you can show me, don't talk about it, just show me.
No, but also wait a minute. The Bible tells us to not allow the enemy to have a foothold in our life. And if we do Ouija boards or anything like that, that is opening the door and allowing Satan to have his fun in our lives. And we love our children and our families too much to open that door. That's our opinion from our reading of the Word of God. I'm not telling you how to live your life, what you should believe or anything like that. I'm just telling you, we aren't having a Ouija board in our house. We aren't having tarot cards in our house. We are just not doing that kind of thing. And it's something that both of us agree with because we know what the Word of God says. In the Old Testament, he says, stay away from soothsayers and from things like that. So, Saul went to a witch and look what happened to him.
But we're not telling you how you should believe. It's a free country for right now, anyway.
Grumpy old man, maybe that's what this is. Yeah.
Thank you very.
Are you going hippie?
Thank you very much.
Okay, this is
So-
the funniest stream I've listened to. Definitely grow out the mustache. Please, y'all, do not encourage him to grow his hair or his mustache. I'm the one that
Well,
has to live with this
my
man.
goodness, Medina, why don't you go on ahead and capitalize on everything?
I
Let him
don't.
do it.
He's
Do
so
you not
handsome.
realize? Hey, most folks maybe know this. I don't know. Hopefully, there's no kids on here that they would be able to get their feelings hurt. If you have kids, make sure the kids can't hear this because some people, like to do the Santa Claus thing. All right, but here's the deal: if Tommy got him a job being part-time Santa Claus, they actually, like some of the major size malls, they give them, matter of fact, my wife and I, we ran into the guy we stopped in at Birmingham, Alabama, there at the Galleria one time, and we met the guy that did Santa Claus. And on the back, he was driving a brand new Dodge Durango, brand new. And so he hops out and he has a personalized tag. It says Santa on the back. So, of course, me being me, I made the remark. I said, "Yeah, I sure would like to have your job, Santa. Have me a nice red Durango with a personalized tag." He said, "You like that, huh?" I said, "Oh, yeah." And I said, "It is. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice." And he says, "Yeah, did you know that they really do hire, if it might be something you would look forward to doing later or something, but they do hire folks to do this." I said, "Well, just how much they pay?" He said he made $40,000 a year full time to be Santa Claus, and they supplied him a red Dodge Durango. Now, and then they also supplied him health benefits. So, you got to look at the
well,
bright side on that.
well, I have a friend that is a Santa on the side. He's a retired major at a police department, and he's got the long white and the full beard, and he looks like Santa, and he's like that all the time. But
Can I
Yeah,
tell you the difference
no,
between Santa Claus and Thomas? Do you
I
want to
can
know the
tell you. I can tell you before you even tell me. I can
what?
tell you.
What?
A white beard.
No, no. That's not it. That's not it. Santa Claus is jolly, not grumpy.
Oh, but get him to laughing and watch down there just below the
I'm
screen
a
of where it says
grouch.
Thomas.
My daughter
If you'll
says I'm
watch,
a grouch.
oh my goodness,
My daughter calls me grouch.
he'll laugh with a bowl full of jelly. And let me tell you, I'm telling
Why don't you be Santa?
you. Why? I'd
Well,
have
you
to be
got
one
the
of
hair.
Santa's elves. I'd have to be one of Santa's
You'd
elves. I'm
have
too
to.
short.
You got
I'm
the
too
little
short.
white beard
Did
going.
you hear him?
I'd have
What?
to be one of Santa's elves. I'm too short. Hey, I'm
I
the
tell you
only.
what,
Hey, look. Hey, look.
you and Tommy need to get together.
Tommy, do you not remember? Do you not remember? I'm the only one that you can see my tennis shoes in my driver's license picture.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Oh, it's getting late. It's getting late. We've been here an hour and 38 minutes.
but
Hey,
look,
Tony, I want
if
you to.
if we make people have some fun outside of the sadness, because
Amen.
let me tell you, missing folks and people that are passing from something happening to them like this happened to Gabby. It's a very sad situation.
Yeah, it is.
But we do have to also be able to find happiness in the life that we still have. So we got to be able to have some kind of laugh time.
All
And I
Well,
can
right.
tell you right now, with you and I, with our history of working, we've seen many of things that most people would never. Well, I would never wish anybody to have to see, um,
Mhm.
of the countless amount of death scenes and all kinds of just stuff. So you do have to find some kind of humor in life to keep
Yeah.
yourself sane.
okay, Tony,
Hmm?
we have got a woman coming on Thursday night. She's supposed to be coming on. She's hit us up and said she would love to highlight her cousin. I think it's her cousin's name was Katie
Hmm.
Hawthorne, and she went missing. Um, let's see. She told me She sent me all the information. Oh, I think it was in an email. Yes, she did. She sent me an email about it. But we're going to have her on, and she's going to want to highlight her cousin. I think it's her cousin on Thursday night. I would love it if you would watch.
Or come on if you
Yeah,
want to.
we
I
can
can
even,
put three
yeah,
people like this. It'd be too little. I can put her big or say I'm going. I got all these different things that I can do. I can do.
Hey, make that screen where I'm small again. No, make it where I'm small again. Yeah, see, you would fit a Santa chair really nicely.
Hey, hey, hey! I hear you.
this is what happens when you get the boys together.
Yeah, when you get two good friends together, that's what happens.
Y'all, we have
we are
picked
gonna.
each other literally for 30 years. I mean,
Yeah,
we have
absolutely.
joked at each other for so long. Oh my
We're,
goodness.
we're gonna have to get out of here though, because we got to get up in the morning and move about 100 and something miles north to really nice place called Paradise.
Oh,
We're going to Paradise in the Upper Peninsula, the real north, far as we can go north, in this area, right
oh wow.
against the Lake Ontario.
Yeah. Well, you know, as close as
Ron.
you are, as close as you're describing, why don't you go a little further north and go on ahead and check out the North Pole?
I saw that coming.
You stepped into that one. He stepped into that one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
All
Yeah,
right.
he did.
Well, it's been great seeing everybody. Tony, we'll see you next time. Think about Thursday if you can do that. We're going to try to be somewhere that we'll have internet. Hopefully, we will.
Well, I do know this Thursday. I think my daughter has a jamboree that she's got to do that evening. Is it this Thursday?
Yeah.
Next. Okay, no, she said it's not this Thursday. Okay, maybe I'll
I'll
be
call
able to.
you if we have service up there, if we're going to be able to do it. And we'll get together beforehand. But thanks, everybody, for coming. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for sticking around.
Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for the super chat, too. And we hope we will see y'all on Thursday. God bless all of you. We love you. And we'll talk to you later, Tony. Thanks for coming.
All right, love, peace, and chicken grease. We'll see you.
Hey,
I hear you.
hey, it's bacon grease. Bacon grease keeps your heart from squeaking.
No, love, peace, and chicken grease. That's from a chicken.
No, bacon grease keeps your heart from squeaking.
See y'all.
It's all good. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Night.